I'm really careful about how I use it. I've seen too much. I've seen how it can go wrong.
Hi, I'm Nick Davis.
And I'm Ed Santow.
We're from the UTS Human Technology Institute.
And we're here to give you more context on AI. What has changed about AI in the last few years that makes this issue more urgent?
Two things that are massive. Number one is since the ChatGPT moment, suddenly everyone is using this new form of AI in their personal lives and at work. And number two, this is different AI. It is designed to have some uncertainty, to have some randomness in it, which means that often it gives the wrong answer or an answer that's not appropriate.
It's kind of like the moment that AI jumped out of the laboratory and into the real world, we suddenly also got this incredibly powerful new tool that stuffs up like 5-10% of the time. That's pretty wild.
Ed, where do current legal frameworks fall short when it comes to AI?
We often talk about this problem of black box AI systems where, there's all this thinking that's happening kind of behind a screen and you're left with this unsettling feeling. I was just denied a home loan. Was that because of my race or my gender or my disability? And you just don't know. So one of the really important ways we need to change the law is to make that sort of stuff clear. So we talk about this idea of explainability for AI systems. So we need the law to be crystal clear. If you're making an important decision that people are affected by, you can't just say, well, the machine said that you're not going to get the home loan and that's it. You've got to say, well, this is how it made the decision. So you know whether the law was followed.
Who should take the lead? Is it government? Is it industry? Is it someone else?
If some problem is everyone's problem, then it's no one's problem. So I don't want to say that, everybody should just lean in. Government should do two things. It should set the rules, enforce the rules. That's really important for government. What industry should do is that it should make sense of these rules for AI and make sure that it's staying on the right side of their legal obligations, but also their ethical obligations.
Ed, what's one example of a situation where you think existing laws are not enough to protect people?
So our laws for privacy were drafted not just before AI, they were drafted before the internet was a thing. And so when you have something like facial recognition technology, which can be incredibly powerful, but also can cause enormous harm. We've seen people locked up in the United States because of facial recognition systems going wrong. We need to update the laws, and these are dangerously out of date. So that's kind of one of the areas where I would love to see priority law reform. This is a good one. So what kinds of harms are we already seeing from poorly tested or poorly governed AI?
So I like to think of it as 4 categories. What AI systems take from us, what they give to us, what they enable, and then what they replace. And so an example of taking is data. We talked about privacy. These systems suck up everything and they're being used a lot in worker surveillance, right? So number one, what's the AI taking when you type stuff into, a generative AI tool, and do you trust where it's going? What does it give us? It sometimes gives us often mistakes, gives us hallucinations, and it's being used by organisations to make decisions on our behalf that are really important decisions. The third thing is what it enables, and it enables us to do amazing things. Also enables a lot of bad people and organisations that want to do bad things to do amazing things. And so cybersecurity risks, scams, hacking, and then what does it replace? And I guess one of the things I care most about is it replaces a lot of our thinking. And we've seen that, doctors who use medical AI diagnosis, they lose the ability to diagnose as well. MIT students who used AI to write essays, 83% of them could not remember a single line or quote a few minutes later after handing in the essay. But it was only 11% for people who wrote it the old way using Google.
The next question is from the kid who always asks why. So this one's asking, what happens when AI systems make decisions that no one can fully explain?
Number one, half the time you don't know that the decision's been made and that it's affected you. You're just oblivious to how it's being made, and so you might not even know when you've been harmed or when the decision's been against you. And the second thing is, it's almost impossible to hold people to account. And if you can't hold people accountable, you can't change the system to make us all better off, which means you go into a world where essentially it's free rein and it's the general public, it's Australians who suffer. What opportunities do we miss if we don't get it right if we fail to build those safe, reliable AI systems?
I've spent my entire career in human rights. I've seen how AI can make a huge difference. For example, for people with disability, if you're blind, this thing that we're all kind of carrying around can literally change your life for the better. But we sometimes given this sense that in order to get the benefits of AI, we have to accept enormous injustice, terrible environmental impacts and so on. And that's a false choice. So if we can avoid the false choice, if we can get it right, if we can make sure that these AI systems are well governed, well regulated, then we can have our cake and eat it. And that's a really good thing.
I'd like some cake.
Yeah, I mean, me too. If we get all this right, what is the single biggest benefit for productivity in the economy? So I think at the moment we're all flailing around. We talk to companies all the time who say, we don't really know whether we're going to face a whole bunch of new regulation or whether we can just kind of have at it. So we need some certainty. And so once there is certainty about where the rules are and how they're going to be enforced, then that will unlock investment.
Is there something that you think the government and industry are not doing that they should be doing right now around AI?
I think that they're doing a lot of talking and that, is an important step. You can't act without having kind of talked something through, but they actually need to act, right? We have not had a single piece of really significant legislation passed in Australia to respond to the rise of AI, not a single one. And yet we know that the harms are coming. They're being experienced now. These aren't just sort of existential threats that might happen at some later point this century or the next. These are things, people who are being scammed right now. And so we need to actually move into legislating and then just applying the law.
Thanks very much for watching. I hoped you learned something by actually listening to this rather than getting ChatGPT to summarize it for you.
And if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. And there are some other videos in this series.